On the questions that were raised yesterday about Israel restricting U.S. humanitarian aid from reaching Gaza and whether that would implicate the Foreign Assistance Act, you said you hadn't made that judgment. Is that something that is being reviewed?
We are always looking at everything, including the provision of humanitarian assistance. But what I meant by that statement is that we have not made a judgment that they're blocking U.S. humanitarian assistance, because we have seen U.S. humanitarian assistance delivered to Gaza, not as much as we want. We want more humanitarian assistance to go in, and that's why we're constantly engaging with Israel. But we have seen them allow humanitarian assistance going back to the time period, 2 weeks shortly after October 7th, and it's been ongoing, but not enough.
To stay on that subject, the EU top diplomat Borrell, in a speech at the UN today, the Security Council, basically accused Israel of using food as a weapon of war, saying that that's what Russia was accused of in Ukraine, weaponizing food, and Israel basically by blocking aid and forcing everyone to find alternate routes, like you are with the airdrops, the maritime and all that, by blocking the entrance of enough aid, is basically using food as a weapon of war. Would you agree with that statement?
I would say we want them to allow more food in. We want them to allow more water in. We want them to allow more humanitarian assistance in. Look, they have allowed humanitarian assistance in. They have allowed food in. But in our judgment, it hasn't been enough. And we saw that, the whole world saw that incredibly starkly almost 2 weeks ago when we saw that horrible scene in northern Gaza. Now, that said, over the past week, 10 days, we have seen a fairly significant increase in the amount of aid that is going in. Now, that's partly because aid was at such low levels in February. It had gotten to the point where an incredibly low amount.
Precisely. You've said there's this increase. So basically, fortunately, it's not a game, so it's not the right word, but they're playing around with aid, opening, closing. So again, to my question, would you agree with the comment that Israel is using food as a weapon of war?
So we have seen a number of barriers erected, and sometimes those are logistical barriers. Sometimes they're hurdles that are imposed not by the government of Israel, but for example, you've seen protesters that have showed up, and the government of Israel has intervened to prevent protesters from blocking the delivery of aid. But ultimately, it doesn't change the bottom line conclusion, which is not enough aid has gone in, and the government of Israel needs to do more.